verses 10 to 16. If you remember right, what Shyamala Venugopal told you, that verse is verse 9. Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram Anor Aniyam Anusmaredyah Sarvatya Dhataram Achintya Rupam Aditya Varanam Tamasat Parastat. When Krishna is asking how should one remember you, when Arjuna is asking how one should remember you, Krishna is speaking this. And here is a nice quote from Prabhupada, which maybe one of you would like to read. Hitendra Desai, would you like to read that? Yeah.
At the time of death, the mind must be fixed in devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One cannot suddenly remember the Supreme Lord at death. One must have practiced some yoga system.
Okay. I just chose that for all of you. So, if you go to the first portion of 8.10, if you go to 8.10 onwards, Krishna is explaining to Arjuna how by the Ashtanga Yoga process, which is called Shat Chakra Yoga, in the purport to 10, Krishna is saying, Prabhupada is saying in the purport, you'll say Shat Chakra Yoga. How by Shat Chakra Yoga, you can also remember Krishna, which means the Ashtanga Yoga system sort of. You will see in 10th, Krishna is saying, Prayana Kale Manasa Chalena Bhaktya Yukta Yoga Balena Chaiva. That shloka. One who at the time of death fixes his life hair between the eyebrows and by the strength of yoga with an undeviating mind engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord is in full devotion, will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is Shat Chakra Yoga, and you must remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead and hold his life air between the eyebrows. All this looks pretty tough, and it is tough, because Prabhupada will say, this is not possible in Kali Yuga, right? And if you go to the next one, again, Krishna is explaining how to enter Brahman by chanting the syllable Om at the time of death. Yad aksharam veda vido vadanti vishanti yad yatayo vitaragah yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe. Persons who are learned in the Vedas, who utter Omkara, and who are great sages in the renounced order enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now briefly explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. Again, Prabhupada explained in the purport, it's not so easy to do all these things, especially celibacy in this world, in brahmacharya and all that, in the world that we are living, where even school students are into pornography in the social media and the devices they have, and everywhere you turn around this and that. It's very difficult to practice this type of strict things. That's mentioned by Prabhupada. If you have read the purport, you'll know the social construction of the world has changed so much that there is no possibility of one's practicing celibacy from the beginning of student life. Throughout the world, there are many institutions for different departments of knowledge, but there is no recognized institution where students can be educated in the brahmachari principles. Unless one practices celibacy, advancement in spiritual life is very difficult. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya has announced, according to the scriptural injunction, that for this age of Kali, that this no process of realizing Supreme Lord is possible, except the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I'm just running through some of these shlokas because they are all, again, Ashtanga Yoga principles taught to Arjuna at the end of Dwapara Yuga. All right? Then in 12, he'll say, the yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements. Sense gratification, enjoying your senses, has to be gradually put to an end if you really want to be interested in spiritual life. So, even in this vibrating Om and remembering the Lord and everything you will see in Ashtanga Yoga, the main principle is to remember the super soul in the heart, remember the Supreme Lord. But then Krishna, after explaining this, that even in Ashtanga Yoga, even in Shat Chakra Yoga, even if you want to enter Brahman, you have to remember me. Because the Lord is the foundational essence for all this yoga. So after that, Krishna is saying that you can actually attain me, the absolute truth, without going through these paths, through Bhakti Yoga itself. And in 14, he will say, Ananya Chetah Satatam Yomam Smarati Nityashah Tasyaham Sulabha Partha Nitya Yuktasya Yoginah. Look at this. Sulabh. Very easy. It is not like meditating between your eyebrows, putting a life hair, then chanting Om and entering into Brahman and all that. Tasya aham sulabha partha. Because for one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain. And Krishna is the supreme absolute truth, what the Ashtanga Yogas are looking for, the Gyanis are looking for, the Brahmavadis are looking for, everybody. And Krishna is saying, why go through all these difficult ways? Like you say, no, hold your hand, touch your nose through the backside. You can very well touch this. This is Bhakti Yoga. This is all the other forms of yoga that is being described. Why you want to do that? Tasyaham sulabha partha. Oh Partha, this is very easy to do. What is that? Ananya Chetah Satatam Yomam Smarati Nityashah. You can always think of me. You will invariably fall in love with me if you come to know about my qualities, my pastimes, and my greatness. And you will think of me. And you'll fall in love with me and you'll start doing things for me. And this way it will become easy. Sulabha. Okay? So that is something that we need to note, interestingly. I will ask Shiba Thomas to read that on the screen, the translation of text 14. Are you there, Shiba?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Read that translation.
For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Prada, because of his constant engagement in devotional service.
Yeah,
Hare
thank
Krishna
you.
Maharaj. Thank you.
So constant engagement. We should somehow keep ourselves engaged in reading Gita, discussing Gita, worshipping the Lord at home, offering food to him and eating the prasadam, worshipping the Tulasi, reading the Bhagavad, reading the Bhagavad Gita, doing an arati of the Lord, going to the temple. And this way constantly, if you are in Krishna consciousness in the association of devotees, it's easy when death comes to remember Krishna. Okay? That is Krishna's pitch. Then Krishna will go further and explain that Ma mupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanah samsiddhim paramam gata. This is a very interesting shloka. Read that, Priya. Priya, want to read that translation?
After attaining me, the great souls, who are yogis in devotion, never return to this temporary world, which is full of misery, because they have attained the highest perfection.
Thank you. You look at this. They never return to this temporary world full of miseries. Dukkha alayam ashashvatam. This is the name Krishna is giving to this material world which he has created. Now, where can you be happy here? When Krishna himself says this Dukkha Alayam. Imagine you naming your house for the Graha Pravesham, removing the board and writing Dukkha Alayam. Would you like to name your house like that? Would you like to name your house like that and call everybody for Graha Pravesha? And put in the greeting card, welcome Graha Pravesham, Dukkha Alayam.
Never.
How many of them will come even for the program of Graha Pravesham? My gosh, I don't want to enter that Dukkha Alayam. If you're naming your house, they won't even come for your Graha Pravesham. But here is Krishna saying, this world is Dukkha Alayam. It is Ashashvatam. Please think about this very carefully. This is the title given by Krishna to your material world. What to speak about our duties to be completed before death in the Dukkha Alayam. What to speak about that this we are attached to, and what to speak about the fact that it is ashashvatam, temporary, and you are going to die and be forced to leave everything back. So Krishna is saying, naturally, if you come to my place, mamupetya tu kaunteya, if you come to my place and see that it is eternal, there is no birth, there is no death, no old age, no disease, why will you come back to this place again? To this miserable place? Why will you come back again? How many of you, like many of, I'll tell you a practical example is many people go to America. After living in India, every nook and corner, there'll be dust, dirt, garbage opened up, people passing stool on the side of the street, urine, toilets opened up, stink, complete dirty. In many of these townships, you'll see, many of these local places, you'll see. When they go to America, after going through these traffic-laden places, riding your car through, bing, come on, move, traffic, this, that, everything. When they go to America, they find broad roads. Nobody on the road. It's so clean, it's like your living room, the road. There's not even one piece of paper anywhere. Nobody spits on the floor. There's for everything, everything is kind of spick and span. And there's clean air. There is beautiful gardens and parks and forests and everything you can walk inside. Everything is so wonderful, blue sky, healthy place, good job, nice house, Mostly what they will do, after going there, what will you do? What will you do after having lived in India?
Stay there.
Huh?
They won't come back.
Stay in America
Exactly.
itself.
Why will they come back is the question. Why should they come back? Why should they come back? They'll come back only because of some material duties and obligations that they will do once a year and quickly return back to America. Mama, Papa, I love you. My relatives, I love you. Here is a little gift for you. Tata, bye-bye. I'm going back. You poor guys, you're suffering in India. I'm going. They leave, and then Mama is very happy. Papa is my son. Now I can see him on WhatsApp. I can see him on Zoom. We can talk. Actually, there's no difference. Sometimes the son allows you to come to America for some time and experience the pleasure and this thing. And you say, why don't I stay here? He says, yeah, stay here. And then you stay there. It happens. So why will you come back to India? Similarly, if you go back to the spiritual world and if everything is permanent, there is no birth, no death, no old age, no disease, no worry, no job, no mother-in-law, no father-in-law, no dad, there's no kids bugging you, no money to earn, nothing. Why will you come back at all? Definitely you won't come back. And that's Krishna saying, that type of place is my place. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalaya masha. You never have to come here again. Go to the next sloka and see. Brahma bhuvana loka punaravartino arjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. Very beautiful shloka. Is wooing you to come to his place. Soumya, can you read that, Soumya? Hare Krishna, Soumya, are you there? Can you read the translation, Soumya, on the screen?
Yes, Maharaj. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again.
Thank you, Soumya. But look at this. From the highest planet, from Brahma's planet, down to the places. All are places of misery declared in Bhagavad Gita by Krishna. Okay? But if you come to me, to my place, you will never take birth here again. You will be in super duper accommodation in the spiritual world. How many of you would really like to try this out? How many of you really feel this is true and I like to go there? Reflect on it and really tell me, right? Don't have to raise your hand for today only because I have to encounter Swamiji in the screen. Let him see my hand. But I am not going. My kids are there, my nice, niche and my household and my this and that and everything. But remember, you'll die. Okay, thank you. Anyway, definitely you'll be interested. And this chapter is about that. Krishna is showing there is another domain and that's where you belong to. You actually don't belong here. This is not your place. How much ever you are attached to this place, how much ever you feel love and affection for your kith and kin and everybody, this place doesn't belong to you. You don't belong here. That's the lesson we need to take home today. So don't need to worry about making yourself permanent in this world. Don't worry about any small things that happen here and there. That's the nature of this world. Be more focused and more worried about how to get back, how to get out of this material world. This is exactly what Krishna is trying to tell us here. Think about it very seriously. Then, there is a quote. I think there's a lot of background music that doesn't fit the type of a session we are having now. In case somebody is contributing to that by not muting yourself, you may consider muting. We are not having appropriate background, just in case. Here is Prabhupada saying something very interesting from the purport. As persons on earth are elevated to higher planets, people on higher planets such as Brahmaloka, Chandraloka and Indraloka fall down to the lower earth if they do not cultivate Krishna consciousness. So don't think this law applies only to you. Applies even to Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Brahma, everybody. If they don't take in their positions, their situation seriously, they will fall down to lower regions. Okay? I don't know. Somebody is right. This is what Krishna is saying. And it's important for us to know this. I will stop here. Krishna has given you an idea of the spiritual planets. He's giving you an idea of how you should leave your body in the first section. Then he's giving you an idea about yoga and how you should perform and how you should get out. And then he's speaking about Bhakti Yoga. Then he's speaking about his own planets, his own existence, where you really belong, and that you should come there. Giving you a hint. Further on from tomorrow, he'll give you more such hints. From the next session, you'll read that. So we will close here. And please think about how to go back to Godhead. Please think about Krishna's offer of permanent accommodation in the spiritual world. Right? Permanent accommodation. You can book it now by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada, he was building his temple in Bombay. They had bought at this place and there was a lot of difficulty he went through. Somebody has to mute, Somebody is making a lot of noise. I don't know who.
Israya.
Okay, got it. I muted her. If you look into it, Prabhupada actually endeavored to build a nice temple in Bombay. It was a big story. A book is released on it. And so much of opposition, and the landlord, who was originally from Kerala, Mr. Nair, he gave a very tough time to the devotees and Prabhupada and said, give back the land after having taken advance. It's a big story. Finally, he died all of a sudden with heart attack, and then everything became all right. And devotees really think Radha Ras Bihari, who was situated there, and he was challenging their temple which was going to be built. So they all say that Radha Ras Bihari took care of him. He was an hindrance and he was removed. But this beautiful temple that was built there, at that time, there was one Mr. Patel who liked Prabhupada very much. I think his name is Chandrakant Patel or Chandrakant something, if I remember right. He was a, contractor, builder and everything, promoter. And Prabhupada asked him whether it's possible for him to do something for his devotees from all over the world who are coming and working here on this project. And then he said that, yes, I'll build here apartments for them and everything. Then Prabhupada said, if you can do that for them, if you give place for these devotees who are working so hard for Krishna, Krishna will give you a place in the spiritual world. He will keep a place for you in the spiritual world. And Prabhupada actually told him that since you have done this, there's a place ready for you in the spiritual world. Right? So, devotional service to Krishna that you perform and the type of smarana or contemplation that you would do on Krishna will make your destination very clear. You will go back to Godhead. This is a reality. It is mentioned in the Gita, and you'll read more about it. So the purpose of life is to prepare how you will die thinking of Krishna so that you can go back to Krishna. And this is no joke. Maybe Elon Musk doesn't know about it. He is busy trying to take people to other planets. We are taking you back to Godhead, past all these material planets, far, far away in the spiritual world. That's the invitation given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. It's a reality.